Welcome to Bobbi Jo's. I am continuing the low carb Thanksgiving series. And what does this lady have today, you may ask? I have a spaghetti squash. I'm going to show you how to roast a spaghetti squash and turn it into something delicious and drool-worthy. Okay, so spaghetti squash are very tough on the outside. The skin, rind, whatever you want to call it, is tough. That is the most difficult part of preparing spaghetti squash, is cutting it. I do not have a knife that I feel will do this, but I'm going to try anyway with my dull knife. But if you have a microwave, you can poke some holes in it with a fork, stick it in the microwave for about 3-4 minutes to soften it up to where it'll cut easier. I do not have a microwave. I could stick this in the oven for a few minutes to soften it up, but I am just going to take my chances on slicing it with this. So the key is getting it started. Once you get through the rind, it's not that bad. It's just getting through this rind without cutting your hand off. This is not going to be totally even, but one side is thicker than the other, but it'll be okay. Preheat the oven on 400 degrees. Now that I say that. You want to scoop the center out. Just scoop down in there and get it all out. You can save these seeds and you can roast them. I'm going to save the seeds. I'm going to add them with my pumpkin seeds. I'm going to roast a pumpkin too. And we'll save the pumpkin seeds and roast those. Get your spoon and go around and scrape all of this stuff off the inside. Now I'm going to remove the seeds from all this stringy stuff. Then I'll wash the seeds and I'll let them dry on some paper towel. Okay, that's cleaned out. I'm going to do this other half. Okay, so between cutting it and cleaning it out, it takes about 5 minutes. It's really not that long. All right, there's our 2 halves, or 3/4 and 1/4. You want to get a baking pan and line it with parchment paper. You can also use parchment paper if you're using a heat press with your Cricut to press t-shirts. Instead of paying for booster paper, you can use parchment paper, and that's where my parchment paper is. I need to buy some more just to keep in the kitchen. I'm going to line it with aluminum foil since my parchment paper is downstairs. Alexa, add parchment paper to the shopping list.
Parchment paper added.
All right. I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil on both halves. It doesn't take much. I'm going to get my brush and I'm just going to brush it around in there. You don't want too much olive oil because you don't want it getting soggy. We're going to salt and pepper it. And this is about a medium spaghetti squash. So I'm going to cook it on 400 degrees for about 45 minutes. Okay, all you do is turn it over like that. Place it in a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Now, if you have a larger spaghetti squash, it may take a little longer. Smaller may take a little less. But 45 minutes, generally about the right time for a medium size. Okay, they've cooked for 45 minutes. Cool down, and then we'll turn them over in just a few minutes. While I'm waiting on that to cool down, we're going to make the tomatoes. All right, in your skillet, heat up a little bit of olive oil and a clove of garlic minced. I'm just putting a little bit of this in here. This is Member's Bark minced garlic, already ready to go. It's not as good for you as the real stuff straight out of the garlic clove, but it's going to have to do. Alright, you want to cook this for about 30 seconds. We have grape tomatoes. I'm going to add those in. And this is about a half a pint or a cup of grape tomatoes. If you don't have grape tomatoes, you can slice up Roma tomatoes or any kind of tomato you have. Just slice it up in little small pieces. Just going to cook this for about 3 minutes. Don't have to cook it very long. A spaghetti squash has 8 carbs per serving. It has some fiber. I think it has 2 grams of fiber, maybe 3. I'll have to look it up. So it's got 5, maybe 5 net carbs, if you're counting net carbs instead of full carbs. Now when you add the tomatoes to it and other things to it, it'll make your carbs go up. So just keep an eye on what you're adding to it. But there's a lot of recipes you can do with spaghetti squash. This one is going to be more of an Italian recipe. And you can add whatever you want to this. This is going to go inside the squash. You can do onion, mushrooms, tomatoes. Or if you don't want to do it this way and you just want to take a shortcut, you can just buy a jar of low-carb spaghetti sauce and use it. Alfredo sauce, however you want to do it. I'm just showing you how to do the ones with the real tomatoes. As far as cheese, I have a little bit of crumbled feta left. And I also have some shredded mozzarella. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to move this back over to my other counter with the spaghetti squash. Alright, the pan has cooled down a little bit. We're going to flip these over. Okay, so this is where it gets the name spaghetti squash from. See how when you do this with a fork, it looks like spaghetti. Has the consistency of spaghetti noodles. And it's a good alternative to pasta when you're on a low-carb diet. See? That means put my camera down here where you can see it a little better. See, it looks like spaghetti. Okay, now we're gonna take half the tomatoes, put in this, and the other half in this. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take these feta cheese crumbles, crumble over it. Actually, I think this will be fine. I don't think we're going to need any mozzarella on it, but you could add whatever cheeses you want. Can't find my oregano, so we're going to do some basil. Got plenty of oregano out in the garden. Okay, I'm going to stick this back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, so you know how I say you can make these however you want them and do whatever you want to them, make them however you like them. I'm going to add a little bit of pepperoni to it. I may also add some mozzarella, make it like a pizza. Okay, I'm gonna add a little mozzarella to it and we're gonna stick it back in the oven for about 5 minutes to give it time to melt. Back in the oven it goes. Okay, this is the seeds I got from the spaghetti squash. So I'm gonna put these out on paper towels so they can dry. And I'm gonna save them and roast them when I do the pumpkin. So I'm gonna be roasting pumpkin next. And we'll save those seeds. Okay, there's our pepperoni, basil, tomato, feta, spaghetti squash. Basically a pizza spaghetti squash, so we'll see how it tastes. But you can cut these up. You can go ahead and just scoop everything out, mix it up, and put it in a bowl and serve it like that. However you want to do it. I think they look good in the shells. Are you going to try this, Steve? No? Okay, well, I'll taste test it here in a minute. So you can just mix everything up in here. Get everything combined with that spaghetti squash. These little grape tomatoes, they'll start popping. That juice will flow out. And you can take all this and put it in a bowl and serve it like that. You can cut these into slices if you want to make it more than one. But for dinner, I'm going to take this little slice over here and I'm going to have the whole thing. Now let me take a picture and then I'll try it. There we go. Doesn't that look good? That is really good. Now, if you're not a big just plain tomato fan, you might want to do marinara or tomato sauce. Just find a sugar-free version. Or you can do the Alfredo. I just cook the spaghetti squash, do like I did, and then just top it with some Alfredo and whatever kind of cheeses you want. I love tomatoes. I don't need them to be sweet or anything. You can add a little sugar to it or sugar substitute to it if you want. But yeah, this is really good. Jewel worthy. 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a blessed day.